Hello learners, welcome to this session. The title of this session is Introduction to Information Technology Projects in India. So, in our earlier sessions, we had focused on information systems and management information systems. And this is the third unit we are going to start in CIT 2 Block 3. So, I am Professor V. V. Subramaniam, Director, School of Computer Information Sciences, IGNOU, New Delhi. So, there are several information technology projects going on in India. Mostly National Informatics Center, that is NIC, is playing an instrumental role in executing the key IT projects. Whenever you take the case of our ministries websites, or else whenever we take the case of government projects, there is an organization called as National Informatics Center, which looks after the needs of the central government or else state government IT projects. This particular NIC is working in close collaboration with central and state governments, making the last mile delivery of government services to the citizens a reality through a variety of digital solutions. National Informatics Center endeavors to cater to ICT needs to all levels of governance, including central, state, districts, judiciary and legislative layer. So, a large number of government initiatives such as Swachh Bharat Mission, Parivesh, e-hospital, fertilizer distribution, e-courts, e-transport have been completely managed using the digital platforms developed by NIC. As you had seen in your unit 3, major focus is being given for the NIC, EarNet, broadband and SWAN. So, these are the 4 categories that are covered in your unit 3 of CIT 002 block 3. That material that was designed long ago. So, whatever the projects those were listed in your block or else in the course material, those are a bit old. So, I had come up with the new projects that are being handled currently by NIC. So, please go through all the old projects that are listed in your course material as well as the things that we are going to discuss in this particular session. In this session, let us cover some of the NIC projects, those are handled right from the central government of India point of view. So, there are several projects that are listed in the NIC website. So, let us concentrate on some of the websites or some of the projects and try to understand for what reasons or for keeping in mind what are the objectives of those particular projects, let us discuss. You can see one project called as Parivesh. The full form of the Parivesh is proactive and responsive facilitation by interactive and virtuous environmental single window hub. So, this is the full form for the Parivesh. So, this is the project from the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. In short, we can call it as MOEFCC. This is a nodal agency in the administrative structure of the central government of India for planning, promotion, coordination and overseeing the implementation of India's environmental and forestry policies and programs. So, in this particular project, the primary concerns of the ministry are implementation of policies and programs relating to conservation of the country's natural resources, including its lakes and rivers, its biodiversity, forests and wildlife, ensuring the welfare of animals and the prevention and abatement of pollution. So, these are the primary concerns of the ministry. While implementing these policies and programs, the ministry is guided by the principle of sustainable development and enhancement of human well-being. So, this Parivesh is a web-based project and the role-based workflow application which has been developed for online submission and monitoring of the proposals submitted by proponents for seeking environment, forest, wildlife and CRZ clearances from central, state and district level authorities. So, whenever a company wants such kind of permissions to be taken, all the applications needs to be posted or else needs to be sent through online, that to the Parivesh system. So, it automates the entire tracking of the proposals, which includes online submission of a new proposal, editing, updating the details of proposals and displays the status of the proposals at each and every stage of the workflow. This is a kind of complete workflow package wherein which once right from the submission of the application till the knowing of the approvals etc. will be looked after the Parivesh web based system. So, just have a look on to this particular website. This is the website of Parivesh and the URL that it carries is parivesh.nic.in. So, this particular website the companies from the central government or pertaining to the states and other categories can apply or else can upload the proposal and also can watch the status and the approvals stage. There is another application which is listed is the eThal. eThal is a platform for dissemination of e-transaction statistics for national and state level e-governance projects, including mission mode projects also. It automatically pulls the e-transaction data from various applications integrated with it using web service technology and facilitates quick analysis of transaction data for the user. So, you can see here there is a kind of a dashboard over here and it always says what are the various stages of the projects and how the progress is going on. So, this is a platform for dissemination of e-transaction statistics for the national and state level e-governance projects. It talks about the status of each and every project. You can see the dashboard over here. On the left side you have many options wherein which it carries several kinds of visual mechanisms. So, there are several visualization techniques available over here and one can see the form in the form of a pie chart, a graph or else in the form of a statistical like Google Sheet kind of thing. So, in order to know the status of the e-governance projects. There is another project called as eUrvarak. So, this particular website belongs to Department of Fertilizers Ministry of Chemicals and Fertilizers, Government of India. So, what it does? There is a dashboard developed by Department of Fertilizers to facilitate easy monitoring of various stakeholders, namely state agricultural departments, district collectorates and state marketing federations. The dashboard provides various reports like frequent buyers, the retailers not selling fertilizers through POS devices, stock availability, etc. So, here you can see with the name urvarak.nic.in. So, all the details regarding the fertilizers are being put onto this particular website. So, you can see who are the frequent buyers and who are the retailers not selling the fertilizers through the POS device, that also you can see. The stock availability also you can see through this particular dashboard that is been uploaded by the NIC. So, there is another system which is very much linked to the earlier system, that is the integrated fertilizer management system. So, Department of Fertilizers has developed an IT enabled system, that is IFMS, which captures end to end details of the fertilizer. The fertilizer sales are monitored online through this web based IFMS by concerned stakeholders like DOF, state agriculture departments and fertilizer companies. This portal facilitates real-time online tracking of fertilizer movement, real-time fertilizer availability, real-time tracking of sale of fertilizers at subsidized rates to farmers through the POS devices, etc. Under Aadhaar enabled fertilizers distributed system, it is mandatory for the retailers to sell subsidized fertilizers through the POS devices. So, you can see over here, this is the IFMS portal, which talks about many options as we had discussed. There is another system called as Bhu-Naksha. The government of India have decided to implement the centrally sponsored scheme in the vector of the National Land Records Modernization Program. In short, you can call that one as NLRMP, by merging two existing systems, that is, one is centrally sponsored schemes of computerization of land records. This particular details are being given in your unit 3, that is CLR, and strengthening of revenue administration and updating of land records, that is SRA and ULR in the Department of Land Resources, Ministry of Rural Department. So, this particular Bhu-Naksha, the integrated program would modernize management of land records, minimize scope of land disputes, enhance the transparency in the land records maintenance system, and facilitate moving eventually towards guaranteed conclusive titles to immovable properties in the country. The major components of the program are computerization of land records and integration of textual and spatial records and mutations, survey, resurvey and updation of all survey and settlement records, including creation of original cadastral records wherever necessary, computerization of registration, development of core GIS and capacity building. So, these are the main objectives of this project. So, you can see this Bhu-Naksha, it is having a portal, as its presence you can see bhunaksha.nic.in. You can go to that particular portal and then you can see all the features pertaining to the project. There is another system designed by NIC, that is the public distribution system. This is very much helpful system. On 17th July 2000, the then Ministry of Consumer Affairs and Public Distribution was renamed as the Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution. So, nowadays this comes under a ministry called as Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution, with the two departments, namely Department of Food and Public Distribution and Department of Consumer Affairs. So, these particular two departments are being merged under one ministry, which is continuing till date. So, the primary policy objective of the Department of Food and Public Distribution is to ensure food security for the country through timely and efficient procurement and distribution of food grains. This involves procurement of various food grains, building up and maintenance of food stocks, their storage and movement and delivery to the distributing agencies, and monitoring of production, stock and price level of the food grains. So, in order to maintain all these kinds of things, you require a website. So, this particular website, the dfpd.gov.in, you can see all the statistics pertaining to the things that we had discussed. So, there are various options one can explore, wherein which you can see all the statistics pertaining to the food processing activities. There is another website called as the Service Plus, designed by NIC, and this Service Plus is an unified platform based on multi-tenant architecture for delivering electronic services to citizens. An application which is quick to learn and easy to use with minimal effort or using very less skill set. So, easily the citizens can go through this particular Service Plus portal in order to obtain the services like regulatory services, that is nothing but the services like trade license, permit for construction of a building, etc., that can be denied to citizens. Statutory services, the services like issuance of birth, death certificate which cannot be refused to the citizens. Then developmental services, those are the services or scheme provided by government for the benefit of citizens like NRGS, IAY, old age pension, etc. And there is another option called as consumer utility service, and this service like bill payments and other comes under these utility services. So, all these particular services are categorized under one umbrella, that is the service plus umbrella. And you can see over here, this is the service plus website with the URL serviceonline.gov.in. So, apart from the services that we had discussed in the earlier slide, there are several options nowadays available. You can go through, you can browse this particular site in order to know what all the services are being provided to the citizens. Another website we can talk about is the e-counseling website. So, e-counseling is a one-stop solution for all the examination counseling needs, right from the application form, online fee payment, e-admit card, answer key display, e-scorecard, online selection of courses, institutes, seats allocation, document verification, online admission, whatnot, pertaining to all the counseling activities of any entrance examination, right from the application till the admission, all the reports and everything are available through this particular e-counseling portal. So, this solution catered to all the stakeholders, namely aspirants, counseling board, participating institutions and reporting cum document verification center with end-to-end support towards a hassle-free transparent admission processes in the technical and academic institutions all across the country. So, who are using these systems? This system is being used by JEE, JOS AA, UGC NET, CTET, NEET, etc. So, this is a very important portal one has to know about. So, in order to have a look and feel of this particular portal, you can see its presence with the URL ecounseling.nic.in. So, you can see over here the statistics are placed over here. There are 74 lakh e-counseling happened, like a student's e-counseling was being done over here, and the many statistics are being given on the home page itself. There is another important website for the pensioners, that is Jeevan Pramaan. So, digital life certificate for pensioners scheme of the Government of India known as Jeevan Pramaan seeks to address this very problem by digitizing the whole process of securing the life certificate. This particular life certificate is an important certificate which plays major role in getting the pension for the pensioners. So, it aims to streamline the process of getting this certificate and making it hassle free and much easier for the pensioners to procure the life certificate. So, Jeevan Pramaan uses the Aadhaar platform for biometric authentication of the pensioner. A successful authentication generates the digital life certificates which get stored in the life certificate repository. The pension disbursing agencies can access the certificate online and can disperse the pension to the pensioner. So, this is the website. You can have this presence of this website with the URL jeevanpramaan.gov.in. So, here there are they had given the complete procedures wherein how to procure the life certificate and how to place it in the repository also. So, you can go through this particular website and you can have the details to procure the life certificate. There is another portal for the scholarship disbursement, that is called as the National Scholarship Portal. So, this particular National Scholarship Portal, once again it has been devised by NIC. So, National Scholarship Portal is one stop solution through which various services starting from the student application, application receipt, processing, sanction and disbursal of various scholarships to the students are enabled. So, this particular portal takes care of all these particular features right from the application till the dispersal. So, National Scholarship Portal is taken as mission mode project under the National E-Governance Plan, that is NEGP. This initiative aims at providing a simplified, mission oriented, accountable, responsive, transparent, smart system for faster and effective disposal of scholarship applications and delivery of funds directly into the beneficiary's account without any leakages. So, this is the main motto of the National Scholarships Portal. You can see this particular portal with the URL scholarships.gov.in. Here they had given the various procedures how to apply for the scholarships and what are the documents that needs to be uploaded and how to process like the application and how to view the whether the scholarship is received onto your like bank account or not. Those particular statistics you can view through this particular portal. There is one important portal which like caters to the courts. Yes, that is the law. The e-courts project was conceptualized on the basis of National Policy and Action Plan for Implementation of Information and Communication Technology in the Indian judiciary system. So, with the dynamic real-time data integrated and updated continuously, the National Judicial Data Grid, you can call it as NJDG, is serving as a source of information of judicial delivery system for all its stakeholders. It is regularly analyzed for meaningful assistance in policy formation and decision making. The NJDG is working as national data warehouse for cases pertaining to the judiciary system, including the orders, judgments for courts across the country with full coverage of district courts as well. The online analytical processing and business intelligence tools with the help in the summation of multiple databases into tables with summarized reports for preparation of informative management system and dashboards for effective court and case management. The judicial management information system will be helpful in litigations and adjudication, pattern analysis and also the impact analysis of any variation in governing factors relating to law amendments, jurisdiction, recruitment, etc. So, you can see over here the website, it is under www.nic.in/project-solve. So, this particular thing caters to all the right from the Supreme Court till the district courts. So, there is another system which is catering to the immigration and visa processes. That system is called as IVFRT. So, IVFRT stands for Immigration Visa Foreigners Registration and Tracking System. This particular system is designed to strengthen the immigration system, a modernization program under the Mission Mode project that has been undertaken by MHA BOI with the assistance of NIC. Under this project, all the Indian missions, that is immigration checkposts, FRRO or FRO offices are being computerized and networked to develop a secure and integrated delivery framework to facilitate legitimate travelers. So, with the URL boi.gov.in, this particular Bureau of Immigration system exists. So, there is another thing attached to the Swachh Bharat mission, that is Gramin. To accelerate the efforts to achieve universal sanitization coverage and to put the focus on sanitization, Prime Minister of India had launched the Swachh Bharat mission on 2nd October 2014. Under this mission, all the villages, gram panchayats, districts, states and union territories in India declared themselves open defecation free by 2nd October 2019, the 150th birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi, by constructing over 100 million toilets in rural India. So ODF plus activities under phase 2 of Swachh Bharat Mission Gramin will reinforce ODF behaviors and focus on providing interventions for the safe management of solid and liquid waste in villages. So this is the website that is been designed by NIC, and you can see the statistics of the thing that is happening in the Swachh Bharat Mission within brackets Gramin. So there is another system called as the Open Government Data Platform. So for any citizen, in order to do the research on the government data, so this particular government data is being provided on the Open Government Data Platform. It consists of various categories of data that pertains to the Government of India projects. It is a platform for supporting open data initiative of Government of India. The portal is intended to be used by Government of India ministries, departments, their organization to publish data sets, documents, services, tools and applications collected by them for public use. For researchers, this is a very good platform wherein which you can get the data directly from the Government of India. It intends to increase transparency in the functioning of government and also open avenues for many more innovative uses of government data to give different perspectives. So the base Open Government Data Platform India is a joint initiative of Government of India and US government. Open Government Data Platform India is also a packaged as a product and made available in open source for implementation by countries globally. The entire product is available for download at the open source code sharing platform, that is the GitHub. So this is the thing that we are talking about, that is the data.gov.in. There are various categories under which it is being characterized, and the data can be directly downloaded, and the researcher can use this particular data in order to increase the impact of any government schemes. So with this we will conclude this particular session. In this session we had seen various projects, those are being developed by NIC of India, that is National Informatics Center of India. There are various projects that are already given in your course material. Those particular projects you please study. Other than that, you can always throw the focus on this particular video for the coverage of the new things happening in Government of India under the NIC developments. With this, I will conclude the session. Thank you.